Hello everybody, I am Levi, and yeah, I'm kind of back for a video. Let's see. Either way, we're getting into that. This is just another uncut update video, but without all of the ambitions and planning 3-4 months out in advance like the last update video. This one's just what's happening since I became inactive and what I think is going to happen like as soon as possible rather than just long lists of to-dos or whatever. So firstly, I have pretty much not been uploading really at all, aside from really just trying my hardest to get out something that's not quite reliable for the fact that I'd get it out there. Like unreliable upload methods and stuff like that, or editing methods, or hardware, more specifically. So yeah, the last time I really said anything on here was, my computer is not working. So no content till it does. And I've had a lot of people look it over, and the only thing we really narrowed it down to was that there was 100% disk read at all time, or disk read or write. We could identify that that was happening. We could not identify what software was using it. So no amount of messing around with restarting the computer, shutting it down, closing things in Task Manager, searching for viruses or malware. Nothing like all 10 people or plus or whatever that looked at this could figure out, but it's sort of started to fix itself. Because basically the issue with it was I would open nearly any software and it would take forever to open, pretty much. Like opening a tab in Google Chrome would take 5, 10, 15 minutes or whatever, and even then, like, it would still take a few more minutes before it would even let me type in the search bar. So my computer wasn't exactly completely at a loss for functioning, but it was not worth using at all. Everything was being super slow. And that problem sort of resolved itself in the last week or so, just before I left for ConBravo. And now, instead of doing that, like, every possible moment it's on, it's doing that on rare occasion. So most of the time my computer's running fine now, and every now and then it'll just 100% disk usage. Have fun with that. And any software is using too much disk usage or whatever, it will close or have an error or lose save data or whatever. So things like the Elgato software, OBS, or my editing software, sometimes even like Photoshop or InDesign, it'll just close those softwares at a moment's notice. But rather than all the time and basically not being able to open the softwares, it's now just a rare occurrence. So I can still try my best with editing and stuff, but recording and streaming, it's very questionable if I'm going to get the results I want out of that, because it could easily just end at a moment's notice and lose everything. So I'm unsure how reliable it will be to do things like that from this point onward, but I will still be trying to. So we'll see how that turns out. So in this time that I've been gone, there's been a few things that I've been doing. Mostly just catching up on various projects. A few games that have been on my to-do list. I finished things like Samus Returns, an Ace Combat game on the PSP. What else? I was messing around with like a GBA game I'd never even heard of. Turns out it wasn't that good. And then I recently started the Kingdom Hearts series, which I've played Dream Drop Distance, which is one of the newest games in the series, if not the newest. I don't really know what was included on 2.8, so I can't say for certain. But that was the one I really enjoyed, and so I got the whole series as a result of that, and now I'm actually starting to go through it. And I'm enjoying the first game enough. Going into it having no clue what it had to offer prior, it's very much like the first step of the series. It's very apparent. Things like the combat and areas, and definitely navigation and like knowing where to go, they are very amateur, it would seem. At least compared to what I've known the series for prior. So I'm having fun with that, and I'm hoping to get more through it, but none of that will be recorded or streamed. That's entirely an offline game for me, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go straight into Kingdom Hearts 2 or Chain of Memories or even other series or whatever right after that, but that's the main thing I'm doing offline. And then the other ones, the big things that were being played when I started being unable to make content were Legend of Dragoon and Metro 2033 Redux. So Metro 2033 I haven't even been able to play even if I wanted to because it was a PC version of the game, so that is exactly where it was when the last stream happened, and I still haven't played it since then. Legend of Dragoon, I was planning on playing a little bit offline, but I never really got around to it. I just kind of wanted to play the whole game on Twitch still, even though I know that there's a lot more benefits to playing it offline as far as just completing the game and going through it at a more reasonable pace. But I couldn't really bring myself to do it. I just wanted to wait to be able to play it on Twitch again, so neither of those games have really progressed since you last saw them. And so whenever I start them up again, we're still all on the same page. The other thing is, one of the last big things I did was me and John played all of Halo 2, and last week we started Halo 3. It was not recorded or streamed, but we got a decent way in, probably not even halfway, but we got some decent progress in it, and I'm excited to play the rest of that. Currently, we know that we're going to at least finish Halo 3, and we know that we're not going to look into 4 or 5 really at all, and we're unsure where we stand with Halo ODST, or 3 ODST, and Halo Reach. I'm interested in playing them, but me and John have talked about it, and there's a bit of a dispute. We're not sure if we're really up for it, or if we're just going to want to wait a while for it, because playing Halo 2 and 3 like back-to-back or whatever, it seems very much a lot of the same, but we're very much enjoying Halo 3, and if my PC's up for it, which I don't know, it just kind of has issues at random now, but then we're going to try to stream that a little bit, and hopefully finish the remainder of Halo 3 on Twitch. Is there anything else? At ConBravo, I got a few new games. Not too many, like 4 or 5. Well, that is quite a few, especially considering that more often than not I'm buying games that are $20 or less, and I was buying, super hard to find retro games that are like $60 this time. But I'm very happy to have built a bit more of the collection. I got a few more games that I've really been looking for a long time. And on the Discord server, you can already see all those, but there's been like 20 or 30 games, maybe even a little more, since the last pickups video, and so I'm planning on doing another one of those sometime soon. And then the big final thing for this update is No More Heroes, which is something I was talking about and hyping up a little bit in the plans for the summer video, and now I'm finally getting around to it. Me and Chris recorded that in like April, and then partway into the series Ezra joins, so no matter how I format these episodes, most of the beginning is going to be just me and Chris, but Ezra does join later in that series. And this was actually the first time Ezra has ever been on the channel at all, as far as being present in the room. He's been on live streams and stuff, and maybe a video or two that were specifically recorded and not live streamed since or already, but that was the first thing he actually took part in involving the channel, although it may not be uploaded in the order of it being the first thing he's done on the channel. So we're very excited to get into that. We've already finished the whole game months ago, and I'm very excited to get into this footage, and the main reason I'm getting into it is because I got to hang out with Will, or Rabid Luigi, a lot at ConBravo, and we were talking about games, and, well, put simply, the two games that I've been sitting on the most, No More Heroes and Metal Gear Solid 1, are two games that mean a whole lot to him, and we talked about them a lot, and now I'm much more interested in getting into them. So I want to do a lot more Legend Dragoons so that we can get into Metal Gear Solid 1, and I really want to get into this No More Heroes footage now, and try to have episodes of that coming out soon. I still haven't decided how long I want to do episodes, but I do know that these are going to be some episodes that need a lot of editing, because as fun as the game is, there is a lot of dead time in it, which is apparent if you're playing it, but I'm going to try to edit it down so that it just sticks to the good stuff in the game. So I could be cutting out like 2/3 or 3/4 of the game. I don't really know until I get into editing more of it. But that is kind of where things stand in the immediate future. I've also gone over a lot of the games on my to-do list with friends, and we're trying to organize a few more groups to get through some of these games. What else is there? I guess Shovel Knight is the only other thing that's really that near future that has not really been touched on, and that is, we really haven't talked about it at all. Like, if we mentioned it a little bit in the last Tropical Freeze stream, then that's like all we've talked about it since then as well. I'm sure he's still interested in it, I'm still interested in it, we just have no plan for that at the moment. But it is definitely one of the higher things on the to-do list. That all? I think that's all. There's one other thing I thought I thought there was one other thing. I don't remember what it was. This is gonna bother me for a while now. I thought for sure there was one more thing. Whatever. I'm not gonna bother editing this video because I've got my editing software trying to export No More Heroes stuff right now. So, thanks for watching. I hope this is all fun. If I remember what I was thinking of right now, it'll be in the description of the video. And that's just kind of where everything stands now. I hope it'll all be fun. Oh, I remember what it was. Super Metroid. We tried streaming with that once we found out my computer was working a little bit better. We only streamed the first half of it. We did end up finishing the game, and we finished it offline. That's really about all there was to it. So there's no log of the remainder of Super Metroid. So yeah, nothing in the description to bother you about that. I remembered everything. But yeah, hope that was fun. Hope everything's up to date. Look forward to No More Heroes starting soon. I will be attempting to do some streaming of things like Metro 2033, Legend of Dragoon, and Metro 23, Legend of Dragoon. What else was it? Halo 3, as well as I'm going to just play a lot of Kingdom Hearts 1 in the background, offline. There's a lot going on now, and it's nice that my computer's working again, so I can attempt all these things. Just for the near future, do not... My Twitch streams may be unreliable. Everything will run fine as far as, it's working, but there's always the chance at this point in time that my Twitch streams could just stop abruptly. It could just be everything's going fine, and then suddenly, you're offline. That's just how my computer's deciding to be right now. It's not particularly likely, I don't think, but there's a chance it could happen, and it really sucks, but it's not going to stop me from trying to stream, so I hope for whatever I am able to stream, you guys are interested in joining. So, hope to see you there with whatever happens. Until then, see ya.